Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to a special Sunday motivational video. And since we haven't done this in a while, why not do a book video today? A good book costs between $10 and $20, and good books can change your life. So to this day, books are one of the best investments you can make. We strongly recommend you add these to your reading list and take the time to ponder each one as you go through them. These books aren't meant to be perused. Don't speed read them. Actually, the smarter you are, the slower you read. Allow yourself the luxury to read these books slowly, to put them down if needed, and come back to them when life tells you to come and find them again. Links to every single title are available in the description. So, without further ado, here are 15 powerful books to change your view on life and make you wiser. Number 1. Animal Farm. We're big fans of Orwell in general, and although 1984 is a way more popular book than Animal Farm, we think this one delivers a highly valuable lesson that will forever stick with you. Growing up in the former communist bloc, we experienced the underlying ideas of Animal Farm firsthand. It's a very easy read with a lot of depth behind it. You'll find your government, your politicians, your friends, and your family twisted up in this plot. If your country is struggling with corruption, there's no better book to get you thinking about the issue at hand. Number 2. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. In our opinion, the Stoics were, and are to this day, some of the most valuable reads anyone can undertake. Every problem you have in your life right now has been pondered by the richest and most developed society of ancient Greece for centuries until they figured out verifiable, in-truth answers. The way they thought about life, the way they figured out answers to problems we still deal with today so long ago, is just a testament that we are quick in our arrogance. Your life is split into two parts, before and after you discover the Stoics. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is probably the most popular book of the bunch. If you're unable to find answers to the problems you're dealing with right now, ask the Stoics. They figured it out long before anybody else. Number 3. The Alchemist. Honestly, The Alchemist is one of those books we quickly brushed off the first time we read it. It was a decent read, but nothing special. A few years go by and we reread it again, and then again a couple of years later. Paulo Coelho has a way of writing that molds onto your reality in a way you rarely find. We recommend this book as long as you're willing to overlay your life on top of what you're reading. Only then will you find true value buried inside of it. If you've already read it, we encourage you to go through it again and see what kind of value you missed out on the first time. Number 4. A Gentleman in Moscow. A Gentleman in Moscow is probably one of our personal favorite books of all time. It's not a business book, it's not a philosophical book, although we love looking for underlying value even when it's not the intent of the author. The reason why A Gentleman in Moscow is on our recommended list is that Amar Towles writes in an incredible fashion, a style of writing and storytelling that's incredibly close to our heart and soul. It's probably the most enjoyable read we've had in years, even more so in the context of the pandemic we're living through. Get the book and you'll understand why that makes sense. Number 5. The Little Prince. Here we are blowing your minds with a children's book, but how many of you actually read The Little Prince? Even more so than Coelho's Alchemist, we believe The Little Prince should be read 3 times in your life: when you're young, when you start a family, and when you're old. It'll prove to be a fascinating read, especially since it doesn't overcomplicate things. It's short, it's easy to read, you can get through it on a plane or anywhere at any time, and by the end, something will click inside of you that changes the way you look at life, which is precisely the point of this entire list. Number 6. The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner does something no other book on this list does quite as well. It makes you question yourself in a way we've rarely experienced. It's a phenomenal read and you'll be really glad you picked it up. Once you do, you'll binge read everything else by Khaled Hosseini. It's a beautiful way of storytelling that sticks with you. It takes over your mind and your soul, very much like an emotional roller coaster. Hosseini is an emotional puppet master. His books will make you feel something, and through that experience, it adds dimension to the way we look at life. Pick it up and you won't be able to put it down until you're done. Number 7. Ikigai. Ikigai has been one of those little books that had a big impact on us. There are these groups of people around the world that have managed to figure out how to live longer, be healthier, keep their libido going way longer than everyone else, and find happiness through the process. This sounds like the dream scenario to us, so we devoured everything we could find about Ikigai and the other places around the world where people have cracked the code. Immediately after the book, we made some changes to the way we structure our days and how we look at life. It's a super easy read, straight to the point. If you're like us and looking to understand what it would take to make the most out of being alive, this book is a no-brainer. Number 8. The Richest Man in Babylon. We promised we wouldn't include business books, but The Richest Man in Babylon goes beyond the financial crowd. This is the first book we recommend our non-financial friends read, immediately followed by Rich Dad Poor Dad. The Richest Man in Babylon does something incredible. It's not a book about money. It's a book about freedom and finding out ways to get it for yourself. It's the type of timeless advice every single generation will find useful, and as long as you live, you'll benefit from reading this book. Number 9. Sapiens. We're willing to bet that most of you were expecting the Bible, the Quran, or other religious books to show up on this list. Well, you're not going to find them here. Initially, we wanted to include Mircea Eliade's History of Religious Ideas, but since it's harder to digest, we encourage you to pick up Sapiens by Yuval Harari instead. It'll help educate you on how we evolved as humans, where our beliefs come from, how we organize in society, and what's waiting for us ahead. Sapiens is a highly valuable read in terms of understanding the world you live in, and through it, you'll look at the world differently. And by the way, almost every book on this list is available in audiobook format on Audible. If you go to Alux.com/freebook right now and it's your first time signing up, you can get one of these books as an audiobook for free, thanks to our friends at Audible. Number 10. My Vision. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's book changed the way we look at society in terms of social and infrastructural development. We spent some time in Dubai and we're amazed by the speed at which it's shifting, building, and evolving. The United Arab Emirates and Singapore are mind-blowing to us. These are fairly new projects that organize their government as a technology company, smart iterations coupled with a long-term thinking executed at lightning speeds. 30 years ago, Dubai was an empty desert. Now it's one of the most booming commercial hubs in the world. It's the same with Singapore. Once you see these newcomers optimize for speed and progress the way they're doing, everything your government back home does feels like slow motion. Now, don't get us wrong, they've still got plenty of things to solve and figure out, but we've never seen progress like this at a government level anywhere in the world before. My Vision describes the way the Sheikh of Dubai thinks about the projects they're undertaking. We recommend it be read together with the Sheikh CEO. Number 11. Factfulness. We loved Factfulness because, unlike Sapiens, where the story is told across millennia, Hans Rosling's book deals with the time we're living in. Just when you think the world is getting worse and worse by the day, this book forces you to take a step back and look at the big picture. The big picture has never looked better, despite what you might be thinking. Every book on this list will change the way you look at life, and it'll do so in subtle ways. Factfulness offers the reader the gift of understanding in easy-to-follow terms the progress we're making on a planetary level. It explains why overpopulation isn't actually an issue, how we're slowly solving poverty throughout the world, and how out of touch governments are with reality. It's fun, enjoyable, and tremendously valuable. Number 12. Man's Search for Meaning. Out of all the introspective books out there, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is by far one you'll hear most people talk about. If you're interested in understanding why people are able to achieve incredible things and how to overcome any obstacle life might throw at you, this is the book to pick up. You won't be the same person after you do. Although a slightly difficult read, it transports you to one of the worst periods in time and history, in prisoner encampments at Auschwitz, where neurologist Viktor Frankl was a prisoner himself. An expert in his field, he got a front row seat to one of the most traumatizing moments in human history. The book is a series of timeless takeaways that are universally applicable. Number 13. Everything by Murakami. Haruki Murakami is one of those writers that has the power to transport you into a different universe created by him. You are immersed in his stories, you don't actually read them. Depending on where you find yourself in life, there are layers upon layers of ideas, philosophies, and alternative realities that you get to enjoy, all in a random style you've probably never met before. If you were to start with a book, we recommend you begin with A Wild Sheep Chase and immediately follow it up with Norwegian Wood. Once you've gotten through these two, you're either going to become addicted or you'll never pick up one of his books again. It's a very different style of writing we found clicks pretty well with us. Maybe it'll be the same for you. Number 14. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. In terms of changing your view on the world, the Russians do it like nobody else. Fyodor Dostoevsky and Leo Tolstoy are the absolute titans of literature. Titles like Crime and Punishment, War and Peace, The Idiot are all brilliant pieces of art that can easily stand their ground against the likes of the Mona Lisa or Michelangelo's David. Out of all the Russian titles, we've chosen Anna Karenina as the one recommendation. Human nature is center stage through every chapter, and soon you'll see all of the people in the book around you. If the time is right, start reading the Russians. Number 15. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. This last title on our list is a philosophical book disguised as something else. In every one of us, there are multiple people inhabiting the same body. Nobody wants to be a single thing. We're all multivariants. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance illustrates incredibly well the most effective way to combine them with the purpose of increasing the quality of your life. We recommend this book to those of you who are looking to find themselves in the noise of the modern world. This is a pristine selection of books that, in our opinion, shouldn't be missing from any home. Think of it like this. 15 titles, roughly $350 in total, maybe even less if you can score a good deal. What's $350 when any one of these books can improve the way you go through life? Which brings up the question, how many of these books have you read already? Hopefully it helps you to find your next read and you find it just as valuable as we did. Now, for those of you still watching, here's your bonus. Number 16. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Naval Ravikant isn't such a well-known figure, but for the past 2 years, he's been one of the greatest inspirations in our life, sort of like a mentor figure for us here at Alux. We've learned so much from him and our view on life has changed because of him. For those of you who don't know him, he's the founder of Angelist, and in our opinion is one of the most interesting thinkers of our generation. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant is a collection of ideas, tweets, and posts from Naval, all put together and offered for free. Although you can physically purchase the book, if you go to Alchemist.com, you can download it in digital format for free. No email, no credit card, no nothing, just free value. We are super excited to introduce you, the true Aluxers, to Naval. If you're an Aluxer, there's no way you won't find this valuable. And since we've been doing it for so long, maybe it's time we finally begin working on our first book here at Alux, which is why we're looking to test 3 topics, and hopefully you, the Aluxers, would help us pick a direction. 1. The first title would be Rich Rules, an inside look into how the rich are able to build fortunes, the fact that they play by different rules than everyone else, and how you can do the same. 2. The second title would be New Money, where we look at the emerging world and how future billionaires are creating the future we're all going to live in. And 3. The third one is True Luxury, a collection of the things that most people ignore but end up being the most valuable things in life. We're playing around with these ideas, but it would help us a lot if you picked one of the 3 as the one you'd be most interested in reading. So, if you're a true Aluxer, please write one of the 3 titles: Rich Rules, New Money, or True Luxury in the comments. We'll keep an eye out, and who knows, maybe we'll actually get around to doing the book.